that would change the whole tone of your feud this entire season. You guys would have been so okay. But no, that's not how it went. And I don't want this storyline to get dragged out for the rest of the season because it is not that serious. Now, when they go to Jodi's birthday party and Gertie arrives and tries to talk to Martina and Julia and they're cold to her, that was fucking weird. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. I don't understand why you couldn't just tell her. Instead you're like, oh, like you'll know what it was all about when you read it in the article. Girl, what if she doesn't want to go look up the article? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bravo by Gays. It's me, Larry. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys had an amazing week. I had such a wild week. I mean, listen, there's so much that's happening like in Bravo with like announcements and like all of that. On top of the fact that last weekend I went to an event with Tom Schwartz and Austen. We're going to talk about that. On Tuesday, I went to the Real Housewives of Miami premiere. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami premiere. So there's just so much to get into. But I want to just kind of start off with like the events that I kind of left you guys hanging with last week that I told you I was going to be doing over the weekend. So let's start there and talk about what went down. All right, guys. So as some of you have seen, last week, Friday, I went to an event here in Buffalo for Oshai Children's Hospital, and they brought in Austen Kroll from Southern Charm and Tom Schwartz from Vanderpump Rules. And it was a blast, guys. The guys are so much fun. I picked up Tom Schwartz from the airport, which was an experience overall. Like, I could have ended the weekend right there and just been like completely content with it. It was so much fun. Tom Schwartz is actually someone that I have never like gotten the chance to like meet in person in real life, whether it be like at like events or at BravoCon or anything like that. But he's always been like up on my list. You guys know I love me some Tom Schwartz. Like, the guy can literally do no wrong in my eyes. But picked him up from the airport. He was a blast. Now, you guys probably don't even remember this, but during COVID, Bravo did this like TV series. It was like a couple episodes where Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz watched episodes of like iconic reality shows on Bravo with like fans. And I was lucky enough to like be on it and do it with my good friend Paxton. And it was her and I, and then like another group of friends, and then Tom and Tom. And we watched an episode of Southern Charm. It was the episode where Craig is like, what's wrong with my sewing? And where he says that to Naomi. So we watched that episode. Craig popped in on the episode. It was such a blast, but that was so long ago. That was like my only interaction I had ever had with Tom Schwartz. But picked him up from the airport, had a blast. We went to the mall. It was just so random, but whatever. So you need to go to the mall. I'll take you to the mall, whatever. It was fine. Drop him off at his hotel. About an hour later, we take Austen and Tom out for like the Buffalo chicken wing experience. Like, people come to Buffalo and they automatically want to try like buffalo wings and like all of that stuff. So we took them to Bar Bill Tavern and they loved it, guys. They had a blast. They were eating chicken wings, pizza logs, beef on weck, drinking blue lights. Like, they were having such a good time. Now, shout out to the bartender. I don't know her name, but she was so freaking cool. And I think it took her a minute to like realize who was like at the bar. And then I think it finally clicked because all of a sudden she like was gone for a minute. And then everyone came from like the back of the kitchen to like see who was at the bar. Like, she realized it was Tom Schwartz and Austen from Bravo. But she didn't say anything about them like being on TV. She was super nice. And she was making sure that they tried everything. Like, if you're from Western New York, you obviously know like what Loganberry is. And she was like giving all of her recommendations on what to get off of their menu. And overall, they just showed the guys like a great time, gave them swag. They got like hats, t-shirts, and they have this machine at Barbill where you can take a photo and they will put the photo on top of like the head of your beer. So the guys were drinking Guinness, snapped a quick photo of them, sent it to her. She put the photo of them on top of the Guinness. It was just so cool. Um, Obviously they got recognized by a few people, so they were like taking photos and everything. We left right before like their rush came in, but overall it was just like fun to like hang and chat with them, and they like got to catch up with each other. And I was with um the girl who like did the booking for them. Her name's Angeli. She's great. She's the one who got me the gig when I did Sonia in Your City. Sonia in Your City. She's amazing. Um, but overall, just a great time. They had a blast. Towards the end of it, obviously, the bartender was like, "Okay, you guys, thank you so much for coming." But like, she's like, "But can I get a photo with you?" So like, she knew who they were. She played it off great. She was amazing. I wish I knew her name because she was so cool. So they were taking photos with the staff. Like overall, like it was just such a good experience. Like getting to hang out with them before the event, and then the event itself was amazing. It was at this venue in Buffalo. It's called Salvatore's. They have a hotel called the Delavan Hotel, and they do this event every year for the Children's Hospital. And last year they had like a musical act. They brought Fat Joe in and he performed. But this year they wanted to bring in some reality people, so they brought in Tom and Austen. Now, Tom was like bartending. They had signature drinks that he was serving, and Austen was there schmoozing and like taking photos with everyone. He got behind the bar at one point as well. 10 out of 10. Great experience. The guys absolutely killed it. Days later, people were still talking about how much fun they had with them at the event. So I think everybody overall was very pleased with the job that they did. And listen, like this is what they do. Like they're very personable. They like know how to talk to people. So this type of event was like right up their alley. It was great. And I am very confident that we will get them to come back to Buffalo before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. I know I want to do something with them probably this fall. We got to get them here for a Bills game. I feel like they would love that. So keep an eye out. As soon as we have kind of more solidified plans onto what specifically we're going to do with them, I will let you guys know. But it's going to be something. So it'll definitely be fun. They killed it. Austen, Tom, if you're listening, great job, guys. I mean, the best time with you. I've hung out with Austen before. I went to the opening of his restaurant in Charleston that he has with Craig. Amazing. They're just such fun, like cool, down to earth people. But aside from that event that I had on Friday, I packed my bags and I took my ass to Miami and went to the Real Housewives of Miami premiere, which, guys, I mean, it was beyond a 10 out of 10. Like, Bravo, and then, like, the guys over at TV by Pop, they just, like, know how to throw a party. It was so much fun. Now, listen, getting there was a little bit of a pain in the ass because I was supposed to land at 11 a.m. and I didn't get to Miami until 3 p.m. And that kind of threw off my whole freaking day because I was going to be down there for 24 hours. I was like, listen, before the event, I'm going to like lay out by the pool at the hotel that I stayed at and just like chill before I have to like get ready and do anything. Now, I went to this event solo, and which I will say I was a little anxious about because I was like, I don't know who is going to be there. And I'm like hitting people up left and right asking if they're going to be at this event. Finally, I found out that Christian Grey Snow was going to be there and love seeing him. He's so much fun. But regardless, anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. The getting down there was just like a pain in the ass. It was like a hassle. So I didn't get down there until 3. So I was like, I don't even have time to do anything. I couldn't like go anywhere for lunch because the event started at 7. So I just hung out at the hotel bar and had like a snack and like 2 glasses of wine. And then I was like, okay, I have to go get ready. So where I stayed, the event was at this new place in Miami. It was in Brickell called Rosa Negra. And it was a vibe, guys, when I tell you. So, of course, I'm going into this alone. I don't know who else is going to be there. Christian was going down with friends. So before I went to the actual like premiere party, I stopped at this place across from Rosa Negra called Barseco. I will go back there in a heartbeat. It was so cool. And like their happy hour like specials were amazing. And so I had a drink there to kind of like calm the nerves because I was like freaking out. Because what am I going to do? Like, I don't know what I'm walking into. I'm going there alone. Am I just going to stand there like a wallflower and like not speak to anyone? I will tell you that is exactly what I did not do because as soon as I got in there, I was like chatting it up and yapping like crazy with anyone who looked my way. So I didn't know what to expect. If you guys watched Christian's like live recap that he did on YouTube where he talks about this event, I didn't know like if it was going to start on time or whatnot. So I was like texting him like while I'm walking up. I'm like, and he's like, Marisol's already there. And I'm like, oh shit, like they're already here. It was literally like 7:02. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go in. Well, I went in and they were all there, guys. Like they were all already at the event. Like they had to have gotten there before 7 p.m. Now they were obviously like they had to do press and like whatnot. So that's probably why they got there early, but not what I expected at all. I was expecting them to roll in between like 7 and 8 and just kind of like everything be casual. But no, they were there. So I walk in. The place is gorgeous. So when you walk in, like you like turn right, and there was like a bar there, and they had like they had like specialty cocktails for the night, which were like actually like super cute. They had like a Paloma. They had a margarita, and like everything was like themed after obviously the Real Housewives of Miami. They had the Golden Hour margarita, the Miami fashion, a seasoned Siete Sangria, Paloma Elsa, which is like super cute, obviously because of Marisol's mom. And then they had a drink called Just Vibes, and the drinks were flowing, guys. We had such a good time. Now, like I said, I was a little anxious going in because I didn't know what to expect. And I just didn't know, like, I'm obviously like, I talk a lot. I'll talk to anyone. I just like, I'm going in not knowing who's going to be there. Well, the first person I saw was Alexia's son, Frankie. He was like sitting on the sofa in the bar area. And I didn't want to bother him. I was like, I'm not going to bother Frankie. Like, the kid looks like he's just hanging around while his mom is like working. But then shortly after, like Christian and his 2 girlfriends showed up, and I got to chat with them for a little bit. And then I looked to my right, and Larsa Pippen is right there. And listen, I have seen the comments. I see a lot of you guys like aren't really fans of Larsa. I enjoy Larsa. I have loved her for a very long time, obviously from when she was on Miami, when they before like prior to when they were put on pause back in season 1. Obviously, we've seen her pop up like on the Kardashians. So she's always been in like the pop culture space for a very, very long time. So the fact that she was 2 feet, oh, not even 2 feet, she was like 6 inches away from me, I was like freaking out a little bit. But I wasted no time, tapped her on the shoulder, like got to chat with her for a while. I'm pretty sure after that night, I'm like besties with Larsa Pippen because I hung out with her for a lot of the time that we were at the premiere party. But she was so nice and like taking photos, chatting it up. We were like talking about the season, like all this stuff. Very cool. She was there with her new boyfriend, and he is hot, guys. Like, you've seen photos. I think he plays basketball. I'm not 100% sure, but they look amazing together. Like, I'm sure you've seen some photos of them from the premiere party that people had posted. They are just stunning. But I got to like talk to pretty much everyone on the cast. Adriana Loved her. Alexia, I felt like I also hung out with her for a majority of the night. She was so sweet. My mom is like a big Miami Housewives fan I don't think she's watched like since they've been on Peacock, but like from when like the first few seasons were out. So I FaceTime my mom and like Alexia said hi to her. Like it was just, she was amazing. Like just so down to earth and cool and easy to talk to. Um, Julia was there. It's like the whole cast was obviously there. Was obsessed. Obviously, you guys know I love me some Kiki and some Gertie. Gertie had a professional photographer there, so I didn't even have to use my phone for a picture with Gertie. She was like, "No, baby, I brought a professional." I was like, "Say less." Never thought that I would see that photo again. Saw it the next day. Obsessed with Gertie. Obsessed with Kiki. Love her. She remembered me from BravoCon, which was like super sweet. She's so fucking cool, guys, and she's so hot. Like I love her so much. Lisa, obsessed with Lisa. Guys, I don't have a bad thing to say about any of these people. Lisa was so nice. She was so cool to hang out with. Got to hang out with her for a while. I will tell you guys, Stephanie, the new housewife of Miami, was hands down probably one of the best people that I met that night. She was so cool. She was so funny. Guys, she is rich. Like, she is rich. I absolutely loved her. I hung out with her for a while, and she was so cool. We're not going to see her for a few more episodes, but I can't wait for you guys to meet her. I'm excited to see what she does on the show. I got to talk to some of the ladies about the season. I'm not going to give it away, but I think that there is some, I think she comes in hot, right? I think that maybe there's some tension with her and some of the ladies. I mean, they were all having so much fun at the party. Like you couldn't even tell that there may have been any type of tension between any of them, except for Gertie and Julia, which, I mean, being there at the party, it didn't seem like there was any tension until afterwards when you saw the photos being posted. And Julia had posted a photo and cropped out Gertie, and then Gertie had posted a photo and kind of cropped out Julia. So obviously they're fighting. If you watch the premiere, we'll get into it because I think it's such a stupid fight. But to see them now like go into the mode of like talking about what's going on in the season, and they cropped each other out of the photos from the premiere party, was absolutely crazy. Because I was taking photos, and I have like the group that was in the photo that they posted, and I'm like, oh, they cropped each other out because they were both one was on each end of the photo, and it's insane. Listen, guys, Kiki bought like shots. They brought out this like huge ass, I don't even know what you would call it. Like it looked like 2 times the size of like a shot ski, but like it was also very like wide, and there were just like 100 shots on this thing, and it was just insane. We had so much fun. I loved getting to see Christian. I got to see Kaya, who is also a Hurrdat fan member. She has her podcast over, it's Bravo, We're Black. I love getting to see her. It was so cool. I will say who I was shocked to see the most, and you guys have already obviously heard about this because this was earlier in the week, and now it's Saturday, and I'm just giving you my POV from the night. I almost fell to the floor when I looked over and saw Lenny's mom with the kids sitting with Lisa. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Now, obviously by now we know that they did reconcile, but for me, I was like, what is she doing here? Like, what do you do? Ariana, what are you doing here? Like, it was just absolutely insane. Obviously, because we know that there's been such tension between them in the past that like I wasn't expecting them to like be together, but it was nice. It was like nice to see them together. And I guess she had just taken the kids there for like a brief moment, but it was such a good night. I mean, guys, there were so many people there. Like the people from like one of the guys from the new Bravo show, King's Court, was there, and God, he was hot too. So I can't wait to see that show and like him go through like his dating process, and that's going to be another good one to watch. But it was just a blast, guys. Like literally no one knows how to throw a party like Bravo knows how to throw a party. And I didn't even know what to expect because a lot of the times, like, I get invited to these things and I'm not able to go because it's either like midweek or it's just like too far away. So this was the first premiere party that I got to go to. And I was expecting to watch the premiere, but we didn't watch the premiere. But I don't even care because I had too much fun, like, living in the moment. It was a blast. I literally am so excited for the season. I cannot wait to see these ladies again at BravoCon. It was just overall chef's kiss. And all of a sudden, before you knew it, like, the night was over. And then I went back to my hotel, went to sleep, woke up at the ass crack of dawn and got on a flight back to Buffalo, back to reality, and was home by 3:30 in the afternoon the next day. It was insane. It's always so crazy when you get to go to these things because they are so much fun and you're like so immersed in the people that like actually like get it, and it's such a good time. And then all of a sudden, like, in less than 24 hours, like, you're back to your normal life. I'm like, this sucks. Like, it really does, which it just like gets me so much more excited for BravoCon to be amongst my people who actually, and it's going to be like for me, it'll be 5 days of just like being around all of these people. And we're just going to have such a good time that I cannot wait until November. I'm like so looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a bad thing to say. The venue was amazing. Their drinks were good. They had a woman spinning like fire sticks. It was just, the DJ killed it. It was from beginning to end. It was flawless. And hopefully I'll get to go to another one again soon because that was a time. That was such a time. So, I mean, with that said, guys, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Miami premiere. All right, so Real Housewives of Miami premiered on Wednesday night, and guys, like, Miami is back. Like, that, what a tens across the board on the premiere episode. They had me like captivated from the second that the screen went into the show. Now, I love that they wasted no time and they got into kind of like what everyone has been talking about, and that is Alexia and Todd. Now, the intro was amazing. It was so good. It started off with obviously them showing Alexia and Todd's wedding and how happy they were. And it then flash forwarded to like 2 years later. And it was the headlines. And I love when they edit something like this, and it's just like headlines flashing at the TV screen. And it's like Alexia and Todd getting divorced. Todd files for divorce. Like, and all the ladies are talking about it. Now, it was absolutely insane. What I did find hilarious was when when Adriana was talking about it and she was like, yep, I was right. But it was just like, then she says she wishes she was wrong, but it was just like so Adriana to be like, yep, I was right. Like, but it was so good. But then they flash to like Alexia meeting with Marisol and Julia, and Alexia is telling the girls like what went down. And guys, this is freaking insane the way that he went about like doing this to her. Now, listen, we're no stranger to like Alexia's past relationships. Obviously, like, we know what happened like with her first husband. I mean, you guys remember she was like wasn't she in some documentary about like cocaine drug dealers in Miami? And I think it was her ex-husband, like her first ex-husband. And then we had everything happen with her most recent ex-husband who passed away, who ended up being gay. Like, she has gone through some wild shit. But listen, I'll tell you right now, though, she's still the queen. I freaking love Alexia Nepola. But the way Todd did her so dirty, it was absolutely insane. So she says that on Saturday, April 6th, or she said Saturday, April 6th is when everything happened. And she had said that Friday they had a great time at dinner. He told her to pick the restaurant. They went to dinner. They had a great time. They went home. They had great sex. And he was like telling her like how much he loves her and how beautiful she is and like what a great lover she is. And then on Saturday, she gets home and all his stuff is gone. And he moved him and his daughter out. And Frankie has to call Alexia and say, Todd is gone. Todd moved out while Frankie was there. This is absolutely insane. The fact that you knew what you were going to do. You took her on this, like, one last date. A great evening together. And then you move out the next day. You dirty dog. Like, are you kidding me? That was absolutely insane. So Alexia said that she had plans with her son Peter on Saturday, and Todd was like rushing her out of the house, and she's like, "No, like he's not ready." And and Todd was just like, "No, like just go," like getting her out of the house so he can move all of his shit out, like while she was gone. This man had it all planned. You've got to be kidding me. I still can't get over the fact that he took her out one last time before he was going to move out the next day. And guys, he had it all planned. She had said that a month before, Todd had gotten keys to a condo. So he must have done this all in secret and then told her like what happened. So this man had been planning it for over a month, got a condo, took her on one last date, cleared all his shit out while she was gone and her son was home. Like, make it make sense. It is absolutely insane. I cannot get over that. It was so crazy. So Julia asks if Todd was ever kind or warm to Frankie and Peter, and Alexia said no. Now, they did a flashback, obviously, if you guys remember, from that season where Todd and Peter got into it while Frankie was right there. And they did a flashback to that, really showing that Todd isn't like the kindest man. Now, listen, if Alexia and Todd want to be together right now, good for them. If she's happy, I'm happy. I am just giving you my POV from watching the premiere. I thought that was crazy as hell that he did that. It was absolutely insane. Now, again, it's really is just so awful to see Alexia go through this. I mean, we see her say like, this is like my third divorce, or like my third, like she's saying like whenever she's happy, everything goes wrong. So she like never wants to be happy again, which is so sad. I also don't understand how you like fumble Alexia. Like, how are you okay with like doing that I mean, are you kidding me? She's like Cuban Barbie. She's stunning. She's successful. She's a good mother. Like, I don't understand what went through Todd's mind with wanting to get a divorce, unless maybe it was like, and this is just all alleged, maybe it had something to do with like business and he didn't want to get her involved, which nothing has come out about that, but that's the only place my mind goes. It's the only thing I can think of. I mean, who's to say what's going to come out the rest of the season or come out in the press as time goes on? I don't know, but that's where my mind went to instantly. I also found it very weird that Friday they go on the date, Saturday he moves out, and then she says that Monday through Wednesday they were like talking about like going to therapy and everything. And then Thursday he files for divorce. You literally can't, I mean, you guys, you literally cannot make this up. It was absolutely insane. Now, when this is all within the first couple of minutes, guys. Like, this is crazy. We're getting so much in the first couple of minutes. Because after they talk about all of that stuff, after Alexia is done talking with Marisol and Julia and like telling the girls everything that happened, we then flash forward to 5 months later and we get into the beginning of the new season where the bros, Marisol and Alexia, meet up for cockies. The girls are meeting up for some cocktails, and they're about to meet up with Lisa. And this is upon the news that Lenny and his fiance have called off their engagement. So we're in the first couple of minutes of the season. We're getting the Todd and Alexia divorce breakup situation. We're getting Lisa, or we're getting Lenny and his ex-fiance's breakup engagement called off, and we're going to get to hear what Lisa has to say about that. There's just so much that is going on. It's absolutely crazy. Now, Marisol is like voicing her concerns. The girls are obviously meeting for cocktails. Alexia and Marisol get there first. They're waiting for Lisa to come. And Marisol is voicing her concerns that she doesn't want Lisa to like backpedal and like get back with Lenny. But before Lisa shows up, Marisol confronts Alexia about not telling her that she was seeing Todd again. So we go from the first few minutes of the season going through all that drama with Alexia and Todd. Flash forward to 5 months later, Todd and Alexia are seeing each other again. And Marisol said she found out like through the news. And Alexia tells her, you know what, you were in Japan. I didn't want to ruin your vacation. But listen, Alexia is in the mindset of the heart wants what the heart wants. And she is in love with Todd and doesn't think that their story is over yet. And listen, there is nothing wrong with that, Alexia. This is your journey. If you feel that, just be cautious. Because if he did it to you once, he can do it to you again. And I just don't want my girl out in these streets looking stupid. It's absolutely not okay for that to happen. But it's just, I mean, it's just so much. It really is just so much. So Lisa shows up. Marisol tells Lisa that she's worried she's going to get back with Lenny. And Lisa pulls off the best prank. Lisa tells the girls that Lenny's been trying to get back together with her. The girls go crazy. The girls go crazy over Lisa saying that Lenny's trying to get back together with her. They were like, you can't do that. Are you kidding? Like, you have a daughter. Like, would you want your daughter to get back into a relationship of some type that, like, with a man that treated her the way that Lenny treated you? And she's like, yeah, but I have kids to think about and like all this stuff. And then she's like, I'm just joking. She played it off so well because I believed it for a second. I was like, God damn it, she's going to get back together with Lenny. Now, obviously, we know that's not, she doesn't end up getting back together with Lenny because we see her post on social. Her and Jodi are inseparable. Jodi was at the premiere party, by the way. So nice. He was super cool. But obviously, like, we know that she doesn't get back with Lenny because we see her like IRL in real time, like with actively posting with Jodi, which is like so crazy if you think about it. The fact that like we're watching the show, but also if you're as chronically online as I am, to watch the show and then have to actually separate it and like watch it as if you're in that actual time versus what you see on the internet, like in real time, it like messes with you. And I think that's what makes some people go crazy in the comments, because some people actually go so insane and are like, she better not get back with Lenny. Like, but guys, no, like, she's not. Like, this was last year. It's like fast forward a year later, like they're not together. She's still actively with Jodi, but whatever. I mean, listen, it keeps the brain running and working, but it was just a lot, guys. It really was so much. Like, guys, I can't even believe that everything that we just talked about happened within the first 10 minutes of the premiere. It was within the first, I literally looked at the timestamp because I watched it again this morning before I recorded, just so I can like take my notes. And I looked at the timestamp and it was like 11 minutes and 21 seconds. All of this happened within the first 10 to 11 minutes of the premiere. And that isn't even everything that happened. There's still so much more that went on, which leads me to believe that this season is just going to be so amazing. Nobody does it like Miami, you guys. It was, and again, that's just the first 10 minutes because we still have so much more to go over. Now, Lisa is, after she's kind of going through all of this like Lenny prank and like him and his ex-fiance, now fiance again, breakup news, she tells the girls that she's having a birthday party for Jodi, and Alexia asks Jodi if he's going to invite Marcus, which is like shady. Like, Alexia knows why she's asking that, because she obviously knows that Larsa's mad at Lisa for Jodi being photographed with Marcus in the news, which is crazy. I don't know. Obviously, we saw last season like a double date with Lisa and Jodi and Larsa and Marcus. And the guys did seem to get along. So it would make sense that maybe they built their own friendship like off the show, like just the two of them. So I don't know, guys, because I see like, I know why Larsa's mad. Like, I get why she's mad. And we're going to get into it in a moment. But I almost feel like guys handle conflict so much different than girls do, right? I don't know. That like maybe this just isn't such a big deal to them as it is to like Lisa and Larsa. But then when you hear Larsa talk about the shit that Marcus is saying about Larsa, Jodi claims he hasn't heard anything. He should have instantly cut off Marcus. I don't know. Maybe give him a little bit of grace, explain to him what's going on if he doesn't know, or Lisa could explain to him what's going on if he doesn't know, and then he can make the decision to not be friends with Marcus. But then we hear Larsa saying that Marcus always said that Jodi was cheap and like they weren't ever really friends. Like, there's so many like crazy pieces to put together of this that like I don't even know what the hell to believe anymore. But the girls asked Lisa if Jodi is going to invite Marcus because they were spotted together like at a dinner in like a selfie. And Lisa explains that they weren't at dinner with Marcus, but Marcus was out at a dinner with all of Jodi's friends. So as they were leaving, they stopped and like said hello to everybody because Marcus was with people that Jodi's actually friends with. And listen, in this day and age, everyone's got a camera. They're going to snipe a photo. I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus took a photo and posted it to make Larsa mad. Like, that just, you know what I mean? Like, that just seems like something he would do, especially because he was commenting on social media, like things where people were like, oh, where's Larsa now? And he just replies with a photo of the streets and says like where she belongs. Like, ew. That's disgusting. Do better, Michael Jordan's son. Do better. That's not cool. So after all of this happens at the restaurant with the girls, we then get over to Julia. And now we're going to talk about what I think is going to be the stupidest storyline of the season. And I hope it does not drag out as long as like what it seems. So it's just a lot. Now, I am so happy for Julia because she's been talking for seasons about wanting to expand her family. And she puts together this Zoom meeting with the ladies to announce the fact that they have indeed expanded their family and they adopted 2 boys that are actually brothers. And Julia's so happy to share the news. The ladies are so excited for her. We don't know if Lisa's excited because on her Zoom screen, it's just a still photo of her posed on a boat, like in a bathing suit, which iconic, like love that she did that. But you can hear her talking. They're all so excited for her. But Julia was a little late to the Zoom and Gertie had to drop off because in the show, when you watch it, she says that she had a meeting. So Gertie wasn't present upon Julia announcing the news to all of these ladies. But when she's talking to Martina, she makes it almost seem like it was intentional of Gertie like leaving, which, I mean, I didn't like that because like, girl, you were late. And if she's like got work meetings, she can't just sit around and wait for you to get onto your Zoom announcement link. So Gertie hit the internet with some receipts and she posted this text message that said to Julia, "Hi, are you sending a new link? It never worked when I tried it 3 times. The initial link that Gertie tried like didn't work, and then when Julia got on, it said that like a call had dropped from the Zoom and she said it was Gertie's." And Julia had responded to the text message and said, "Hi, sorry, my friend. I don't know what went wrong. We only had one link that everybody stayed on. Sorry you couldn't get in. I had something amazing to tell you guys at the same time. Now it's out and have been publicly announced. Talk to you soon. Hope you're feeling better after your surgery and will recover fast. And Gertie replies, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll look online for the announcement. K." And Julia goes, "You will understand when you read. My hands are literally full right now, so I'm dictating this message, but we'll talk to you soon." And Gertie replies, "Congrats." Okay, like, girl, if you guys look at the text messages, they were like paragraphs. Like, that is Julia replying to Gertie. Like, these are Julia. Like, why in the length of those messages could you just not say, "Oh my God, like, I was so excited to get you girls together. I had an announcement. We adopted 2 boys. We expanded our family and we're really excited." That would change the whole tone of your feud this entire season. You guys would have been so okay. But no, that's not how it went. And I don't want this storyline to get dragged out for the rest of the season because it is not that serious. Now, when they go to Jodi's birthday party and Gertie arrives and tries to talk to Martina and Julia and they're cold to her, that was fucking weird. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. I don't understand why you couldn't just tell her. Instead you're like, "Oh, like you'll know what it was all about when you read it in the article." Girl, what if she doesn't want to go look up the article? Well, like, just tell her what is going on. I just thought it was absolutely insane. I did, and I'm sorry about that. I I just think it's absolutely crazy. Now, what I do want to talk about, I'm gonna skip over a few things. I want to talk about Jodi's birthday party because there was a lot that kind of happened there. Adriana shows up with her new man, who is hot, honey. This man is 6'4". He is French. She's making out with him all over Lisa's $32,000 a month, 6,000 square foot rental in Miami, which is a whole nother topic of conversation. That rental is absolutely stunning. Good for Adriana. She showed up with the man. I love that this woman always has a hot piece of arm candy. And again, Gertie shows up. She gets the cold shoulder from Martina and Julia, which I just talked about. But the tension at this party seems so thick. There's issues with Lisa and Larsa. There's issues with Julia and Gertie. And it's just like, it was a little much. It's like Jodi's birthday party, but Jodi's off in the other living room where the AC is, which we're going to talk about. And he's nowhere to be found at his other birthday party. It's just the girls in this other living room fighting. So Lisa and Larsa speak, and Larsa tells Lisa that she called Lisa to like talk to her about everything that was going on. And Lisa says she never got the call or the text messages. And Larsa's in her confessionals like, "Girl, you're lying. You're a liar. You're Pinocchio. You're drunk." Like, it was absolutely crazy. While they're fighting, Adriana's making out with her man, asking him how many times she's allowed to have sex with him. And she was like 7 times, and he was like 7 times if 7 times is what you want. It's just like, get a room. Then they're making out on the couch. Marisol is like, "I don't know too many guys that want to make out with her, so she's got to take what she can get while she can." It was so crazy to see them all fighting and then to see Adriana and her French man making out on the couch, talking about how many times they want to do it. Go do it, baby. Get a room. It was absolutely insane. I love to see it. It was hot. But like, girl, not at the birthday party, not at Jodi's birthday party where Jodi isn't even there. He's in another room with his friends. So it was just like the girl, Lisa and Larsa are continuing to go back and forth. Larsa makes a comment about like, I didn't know if this was like another legit breakup because your last one was fake. Me and Jodi had to leave a party because of your last fake breakup. That set Larsa off. She went absolutely nuts over that conversation. They continue to go back and forth. Lisa kicks Larsa out of her house, which is insane because these two are supposed to be best friends. Now, listen, I will say at the premiere party, they were super tight. So, like, it's just, but this seems to, like, be a thing. Like, these two always bicker back and forth. They've done it for seasons. Like, it was just crazy, though, that she, like, kicked her out of the house. And Larsa is trying to explain to Marcus, or Larsa is trying to explain that Marcus is dragging her name all over the internet, and she just wants Lisa to be a good friend. Lisa saying that she can't control Jodi. Like, I can't control him. He's a man. And she was like, well, you S his D every night. How come you can't control him and tell him to like not talk to your friend's ex-boyfriend? Which, I mean, I get. Like, she could have. I listen, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Maybe Lisa did say something to Jodi, but maybe Jodi just like is making the choice to be friends with Marcus. It honestly seemed like Jodi didn't know what was going on. It seemed like he didn't know that Marcus was dragging Larsa's name all over the place. Because he had nothing to say to Larsa except for, I like your earrings. I truly just don't think he knows. Listen, Jodi's been very vocal. He doesn't like being on camera. He doesn't like being a part of the drama and the chaos. But I understand where Larsa is coming from. She just wants to be supported by her friend, especially because she supported her friend so hard and testified under oath against stuff that was going on with Lenny and Kat, which is what she said on last night's episode. So it was just absolutely insane. Like, it was so crazy. What we have to talk about, though, is the elephant in the room. And it is Jodi talking to his friends about wanting to go to the room to get AC. Now, everybody on the internet went wild. I know my group chats were blowing up last night, talking about, like, are Jodi and his friends in the bathroom doing drugs, like, or in his bedroom, like, doing drugs. Like, when someone said, where's the AC? And he said, in my bedroom, they all thought, like, AC was the new pasta. AC did not stand for cocaine. Lisa went out and made a statement, and she stated, I can't believe that I have to address this right now. But last night's Real Housewives of Miami episode was a gross misrepresentation of what actually happened and manipulated editing. Jodi and our non-cast friends were hanging out in our primary suite and lounge area, which we use as a common space with friends and family. They were not crowded in some solitary bathroom. Our friends did not want to be filmed, so they sought out privacy in our hangout spot. Any implication beyond that reality is completely false and upsetting. And for the record, AC equals air conditioning, something essential in Miami. And she's not wrong. It's fucking hot down there. But I'm not going to lie, guys. I thought the same thing. I was like, are they in the, like, were people doing coke in your bathroom? Like, Dorit, like, it was absolute. Like, I instantly thought, that's where my mind went. I was like, oh my God. But I'm glad that she cleared the air, and it does make sense because even when you see the girls, like, in the area where they were partying, where like all the decorations were, and like where the girls were arguing, you didn't really see any of Jodi's friends. And even Lisa said in the beginning of the episode, like, I want this to be like Jodi's party, like not like my party. Like, she wanted his friends there. So it makes sense that, listen, the house is big enough. They have another entertaining area. So they probably had a space for filming and a space for people who didn't want to be on camera, and Jodi and like all his friends. And that makes sense. Jodi had stated like they were in a room where all the doors and windows were open and it was hot. So they wanted to go where the air conditioning was. So AC is not cocaine, people. Like, it is. But I will tell you, I definitely thought it was too. But it's not. So I'm glad that they cleared that up. Guys, we are literally on track for an amazing season of The Real Housewives of Miami. I cannot wait, like I said earlier, for you guys to meet Stephanie. I think that she is absolutely going to crush it. And we're going to talk about Miami as it continues to air and as things start to pop off and happen. So stay tuned for that. That's a wrap on the season premiere of Real Housewives of Miami. Let's talk about some hot topics real quick. All right, guys. So as I wrapped up last week's episode, you know that I had seen a post from Bravo and Cocktails with a statement from Carl saying that he's leaving Summer House. That has been found to be fake, and it is not true. Carl is not leaving Summer House. Summer House is due to film in a couple of weeks. They start in the beginning of July, usually July 4th weekend. Kyle did a Instagram story stating he's kind of cramming a lot of DJ shows into the month of June because he has to start filming Summer House in the beginning of July. So Kyle and Amanda, I'm sure, will be back. Carl's exit was debunked. Obviously, we know we're not getting Paige. We know we're not getting Lexi. I doubt we're getting Imral. So it's going to be interesting to see like the filming side of it as they like kind of maybe integrate some newbies. That's going to be interesting. So I just wanted to clarify that because I know at the end of last episode, I was like, what is going on? When I was recording last week, every like couple of minutes, there was another announcement of someone else leaving Summer House or like a Bravo show, whatever. What I will say, though, that I was not expecting is later in that day, Bravo made an announcement that Rachel Zoe is joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I went bananas over that announcement. I have loved Rachel Zoe for so long. Obviously, I was a big fan of the Rachel Zoe Project. If you don't know who she is, go on Peacock. The Rachel Zoe Project is over in the Bravo vault. It is such good television. People have been wanting her back on TV for so long. So the fact that we're getting her, I saw someone say, like, the fact that we're getting Rachel Zoe on Bravo 2 times in our lifetime is like, hashtag, like, we're blessed. I cannot wait to see how she does on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, with Rachel Zoe going into Beverly Hills, there was another casting announcement made over at Potomac, and Monique Samuels is returning to the Real Housewives of Potomac. I can't wait for that either. I will say I thought Candace Dillard-Bassett was going to come back to the Real Housewives of Potomac, but I think that now that it's announced that Monique is, Candace definitely will not. We saw over last weekend the girls filming for like Pride. So Monique was definitely there with them for that. Another departure announcement was made by Brynn. She announced that she is stepping away from reality TV for now, and she will not be returning to the Real Housewives of New York. What that looks like, I don't know, guys. All I can reiterate is what Andy said, and that is that they are currently casting for New York, for New Jersey. I don't know. I'm not going to go looking for kind of like what ifs, who might return when like there really isn't anything like to go off of. But Brynn announces she isn't returning for now. I think that is a good decision after how last season ended. I almost feel like we knew that she wasn't going to return, but there just never was no official announcement made. She made that announcement last week. I mean, so much. Like, the past week and a half has been inundated with like announcements of returns and departures. It's been crazy. Huge like day last week for the Summer House girls. Paige launched Daphne, and that sold out. So kudos to the queen. And Amanda Batula did another drop of her swim line. Amanda Batula swim for South Moon Under. The girls are killing it. Killing it. Now listen, I've been seeing people do reviews of Paige's Daphne line on social media, and they're loving it. Like, they say that it is so soft. The girls are, and listen, they're loving Daphne as they should. And the only other hot topic, like, piece of news that I got for you was that on Thursday, it was announced that Watch What Happens Live was renewed through 2027 at Bravo, and Andy Cohen got an extended first look deal through 2028. So Watch What Happens Live isn't going anywhere, and neither is Andy Cohen, and I am here for that. So let the fun continue. Guys, that was a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, just a reminder, if you are in the Buffalo, New York area on Saturday, June 28th, we are doing a Pride Festival event at Outer Harbor at Terminal B in Buffalo. I am hosting the VIP area. We have Danielle Cabral coming from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We have Bob the Drag Queen, and we have Rebecca Black. There's some local performers. It's going to be a great time. Go over to the link in my bio to get tickets if you haven't gotten them already. You can use the code BBGPRIDE for $5 off of your ticket. And I hope to see you guys there in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, make sure that you are rating, reviewing, subscribing, sending the link to your friends if they like Bravo and having them come over and join the party. I hope you guys have the best weekend ahead, the best week to come, and I will talk to you guys next week. Love ya. Bye.